Today we have a makeup review and I am so excited about this collection. This is the brand new Moonshroom collection from Lunar Beauty. This is like the perfect collection for me. I love mushrooms and I love moons. We have mushroom decor all around our house. I have a mushroom candle, a mushroom crocheted pillow, little mushroom knickknacks everywhere. And then of course, I also love moons because my daughter's name is Luna. I always wear this moon necklace and it's just something that's always been special to me. So the Moonshroom collection like couldn't be better. The pictures online look amazing. I cannot wait to open this up and see what the products look like in person. I'm gonna do swatches. We're gonna try all of the products on. So if you're new, don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy, and let's go ahead and get started. I will have this collection linked down below in the description box. This was sent to me in PR, so thank you so much Lunar Beauty for sending this over. Also, I do have a discount code with Lunar Beauty. You can use code Paige for 10% off of Lunar Beauty products. That is an affiliate code, so I do make a small commission if you decide to use it, but it also saves you 10%. So there is an eyeshadow palette, a highlighting palette, and then also I think 3 lip glosses in this collection. So here is what the package looks like. Let's open it up. Oh my gosh, look at how beautiful this PR card is. The vibes are so like fairy core, cottage core. I love this so much. It's very like ethereal and just, oh, I love it. Okay, so let's see, we have, it looks like the palettes in here and then the lippies here. So it looks like all 3 of them are lip glosses. Here is a close-up of the packaging. It looks absolutely beautiful. The shades are Soul, Ella, and Flora. Love those names so much. Then we have the palettes in here. So let's take a look. Oh my gosh, the packaging is so cute. It's covered in like mushrooms and rainbows and butterflies. Here is the highlight palette, and then we have the color palette or eyeshadow palette here. So the eyeshadow palette retails for $48. The highlighter palette retails for $36. This is the first time that he's ever done like a 4-pan highlighter palette like this. And then the lip glosses retail for $17 each. There are bundles that are like discounted. My code doesn't work on the bundles, I don't think, but it works on anything that you purchase individually. But the bundles are also at like a discounted price. So just wanted to throw that out there for you as well. So I guess we'll just dive in. Let's look at the products and then I will try them on. Here is the highlighter palette. Oh my gosh, it has like a raised moon like all of his other palettes. It is so beautiful. Oh my gosh, I love this so much. And these colors, oh, there we go. You can kind of see the shine and sparkle on those highlighters. Oh my gosh, those look amazing. There's like a few lighter champagne colors, a little bit more of like a bronzy shade, and then this gorgeous like pinky highlight. That's definitely probably more of like a blush topper for me. Then we have the eyeshadow palette. Let's take a look at this. The color story looked so pretty on Instagram. Oh my gosh, this is stunning. And I love that some of the eyeshadows have little like fairy and mushroom like embossed stamps. That is so cute. So there's 2 rows of mattes, this row here and this row here, and then the center row is full of shimmers. I love when he does palettes like that. I actually went ahead and pulled my Nude Prism and then also the Full Fantasy collection. The Nude Prism is my favorite eyeshadow palette of all time. So it's obviously my favorite Lunar Beauty palette, but it's also my favorite eyeshadow palette. And this is set up the same way. You can see it's full of shimmers on the middle and then 2 rows of mattes. And then the Full Fantasy collection is not set up this way, but I thought I would pull it just to kind of compare color story because I felt like there might be a couple of similar shades, but it's definitely like completely different overall. So here is the palette compared to, the Full Fantasy. So Full Fantasy is on top and the Moonshroom is on the bottom. So you can see there's a couple of those kind of like mustardy green shades, maybe like a purple shade that looks slightly similar, but overall the color story is completely different. And then of course it's completely different from the Nude Prism palette, but I thought I would show you just kind of like a side-by-side comparison. Let's see, it has a really nice mirror. Of course, all of his palettes do. And it looks like it's the same size as the other two palettes that I just mentioned, so that's very nice and satisfying. Love that for storage purposes. But here's again a nice close-up of the eyeshadow palette. Those sparkles, that is like the standout from Lunar Beauty in my opinion. His shimmery shades are just like, they are incredible. And then we have the lip glosses, so let's just take a peek. I think there's like a pink, a peachy nude maybe, and then like a sheer one. So oh, the pink is so pretty. I love the packaging. This is like his, you know, it has like the little diamond at the top like his other lippies do. Sorry, my camera is like not focusing, but here is what the first shade looks like. It is pink and sparkly. That one is in the shade Flora. Then we have Ella, which reminds me of Ella Enchanted. That's like the first thing that comes to mind. And that's just like a clear sparkly gloss. And then we have Soul, which is kind of that more like bronzy. It's like a bronzy nude, I would call it. But there are the three glosses. I will wear every single one of these glosses. So let's start with the highlight palette and just kind of play around with it. So let me swatch the shades. Okay, they are so soft, and I can already tell the pigment on these is gonna be wild. Okay, so here we have the highlighters. Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh, these powders are so soft and smooth when you swatch them that I like checked my finger to make sure that I was picking up product, and oh yeah, you can see the product. Look at those swatches. That is unreal. I am so excited. I'm so excited. And the names are Sugar, Tink, Blossom, and Sprinkle. The naming, the theming, everything about this collection is so awesome. So I'm actually gonna go in with a Bling Brushes F17. This is a highlighter brush from the Starry Nights collection. So freaking beautiful, love the sparkle. So I'm gonna use this, and I think I'm gonna go in with, maybe I'll go in with Tink, which is not the lightest shade, but it's the second one here. I'm just gonna go in with a little bit at first and just kind of see. I don't have any highlighter on right now. Oh my gosh, that is so pretty. I literally barely tapped into that. That is so smooth. Oh, this also has a really nice mirror. Oh my gosh, look at that highlighter. I will say my base makeup is not on point today. It's looking a little, I don't know. I set my face with powder using a brush today instead of a sponge, and I feel like that was a mistake, but this highlighter is so smooth. It's not exaggerating texture. It just looks like wet on my cheek. That is so nice. It's also a beautiful nose highlight. I love it. I love it. This is unique. This doesn't feel like your typical powder highlight. I'm very excited about this. I'm gonna use that same brush, and I'm just gonna tap into Blossom, which you can definitely see the pink on this brush. And I'm just gonna kind of put that on top of my blush. Oh my gosh, look at the glow. And it's definitely pigmented. Like, I see that pink on my cheeks. That is so pretty. 10 out of 10 for the highlight palette. Now I'll go ahead and swatch the glosses. Let's see if there's a scent. Ooh, beautiful scent. I love Lunar Beauty's lip oils. They're my absolute favorite. So the glosses actually have a really good amount of pigment. Here is what they look like. I have the clear one on top, then the pink one, and then the bronzy one. I don't even know which one I want to use. Well, I'll lip swatch all of them. We'll start with the bronzy one because I feel like I'll probably pick one of the other ones. So this one is in the shade Soul. So here is the shade Soul. This is so pretty. I was worried about it being too warm toned for me, but I don't think that it is. I think that this color is so beautiful, and I love the pigment. You can really see the pigment from the gloss on my lips. I love this shade and it smells like the most amazing, like sweet, delicious dessert. It is so good. Now I'm gonna go in with the shade Ella, which is the clear sparkly gloss. And they all are sparkly, which I really like. And it is so sparkly on my lips, but you don't feel any of that glitter. It's so hydrating, smooth, not sticky at all. This is just like a completely clear gloss. My lips are a little bit like pink from rubbing off the previous shade, but this is gorgeous. Definitely gonna be a favorite of mine. And then finally we have Ella. Let me just find it, the pink one. I feel like this is gonna be my favorite one just because I love pink, but let's see. Oh my gosh, it is so pretty. It's almost like frosty, but not like in the best way possible. Not like those old frosty pink lipsticks from like the early 2000s. Nothing against those, but it's like, I feel like this is like the modern version of that because it's so sparkly. So this is the shade Flora. This one is by far my favorite. I love all of them though. I would wear every single one of these, but Flora is just like, has a little bit of that pink tint to it and it's so pretty, so sparkly. I love, love, love. Okay, I'm gonna need to go get some makeup remover because I need to swatch the eyeshadows and I forgot to grab some. So I'm gonna go do that and then we will get into the eye look. So I'm gonna start with the top row here. I'm just gonna swatch all of them and then I'll show you. Maybe let me take my watch off. I have a watch tan from going outside, so that's exciting. Okay, these are so cute. So I'm just gonna go ahead and swatch them and then I'll run through the names with you as I show them to you. So here's the first row swatched from top to bottom. We have Puffball, Honeysuckle, Toad, Meadow, Lion's Mane, and Chocolate Truffle. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other matte row next, and then we'll save the shimmery row for last. So here's the bottom row. Definitely very different vibes from that first row that I swatched. This is like deep purpley, more like earthy tones, and the first row was like very warm and like yellowy, orangey brown. Also earthy tones, but from top to bottom here we have Pixie Pop, Pretty Poison, Weeping Willow, Fuzzy Foot, Dew Drop, and Death Cap. So here's that middle row, the super shimmery row. This is again what I feel like is just so stand out for Lunar Beauty. So from top to bottom here we have Fairy Wings, Witch's Hat, Spores, Foxfire, Magic Mushroom, and Fungi, like F-U-N-G-U-I. Love this so much. That is just like such a beautiful row of shadows. I love this like purpley color. That one's called Magic Mushroom. That is probably my favorite shade in the whole palette. So we're gonna do something. I have no idea where I'm gonna go with this eyeshadow look, but I wore a cream colored shirt so that it didn't really matter what kind of eye look we went with. So I'm gonna zoom you in a little bit and we will play with these eyeshadows. I have no idea what kind of look I'm gonna do here, but I am gonna start with Pixie Pop, which is this gorgeous purple color on a fluffy brush. This is an E13 from Blinged Brushes. And I'm gonna start by putting this in my crease. I don't have any eyeshadow primer on. I just kind of blended out whatever concealer slash foundation was on my eyelid. So that's what we're gonna go with. So I'm just gonna go in little by little, just kind of like building that pigment up. I'm also gonna put that shade on my actual lid because I'm gonna definitely use the shade Magic Mushroom, and I want this as like a base so that it really pulls that like purple color. Now I'm taking the shade Puffball on a clean brush and just kind of like buffing out the edge just to soften it up a little bit and just make it blend even better. Now I'm gonna just use my finger and go in with the shade Magic Mushroom, and I'm gonna put this on my lid. Oh my gosh, it's not even purple. It's like bluish green. I don't know how it's gonna look on camera, but it is definitely not purple. It has purple glitter in it, but it has like a bluish green base to it. It's very like mermaid vibes. Now I'm gonna take the shade Pretty Poison, which is this like deeper purple shade, and I'm gonna run this along my lower lash line. I'm gonna try to be careful, but I want like a pretty bold lower lash line, so I'm gonna go in lightly with this shade, and then I'm gonna go in with Witch's Hat, which is this really pretty sparkly purple on top of that. But I wanted to go in with this matte shade first, just to kind of define the lower lash line a little bit. So now I'm just taking Witch's Hat and placing it right on top of the previous shade. So my camera died, but basically I just took a little bit of the shade Pretty Poison, which is the matte shade on my lower lash line, and I'm kind of blending that into my outer corner just to add a little bit of depth. So I've done it on this side, but I haven't done it on this side yet, just to kind of make it look a little bit more cohesive. Now I'm actually gonna go into the highlight palette. I'm gonna go into this lightest shade here, which is called Sugar, and I'm gonna put this on my inner corner just as like a little bit of a highlight. There's not really a good super light highlighty shade in the eyeshadow palette for this, so I'm just gonna use the highlighter. Now I'm gonna put on some mascara, and I will be right back to show you the finished look along with my final thoughts. So here is the finished eye look with mascara. I used the Benefit They're Real mascara, which I love this mascara, by the way. But here's the finished look. I think it turned out so cute. I love the eyeshadow. I love all the colors. It's very like, gives me, I don't know, kind of like fairy core vibes, which definitely is on theme for this collection. I think the collection as a whole is definitely a hit. It is so high quality. The formulas are fantastic. I love the colors, and I just think it's a great collection. I love the theming of it. The glosses are a 10 out of 10. I will wear every single one of these shades. That does not happen often. I'm pretty picky with lip colors. I haven't touched up my gloss since I first put it on, and it still looks amazing. Again, I'm wearing the shade Flora, but I love the pigment that these have. I love the sparkle, the way that they feel, the way that they smell. Everything about these is great. I don't have anything negative to say about the glosses. The highlighter palette is also freaking amazing. So glowy and smooth, and it just gives your skin a nice dewy look. Doesn't feel powdery whatsoever. They are so intense. I went in with a pretty light hand, and you can still see how glowy my cheeks are. Love this for a blush topper. I can definitely use these two as a highlighter shade. This one might be a little bit too deep for my skin tone, but I can definitely still use it as an eyeshadow, just like I used this shade as an eyeshadow today. I love this palette. I think this is a great purchase, and again, the packaging is just so freaking cute. And I feel like this is a new formula. I'm pretty sure this is a new formula for him, because I know he did a face palette several years ago, but I feel like I would have remembered if the formula was like this. So this is fantastic. I definitely recommend the highlighter palette. And then for the eyeshadow palette, this is amazing. I cannot say enough good things about these shimmer shades. The mattes are also fantastic. Like, I have no issue with the mattes, but again, I feel like his shimmers are just so stand out. I feel like the color story is a little bit probably not for everybody. It's very like earthy, a lot of like mustardy yellow kind of tones, and like just darker, kind of like muted tones, and I like wasn't sure how I wanted to go about this palette. Like, I wasn't sure what kind of eye look I wanted to do. This was kind of what I was originally thinking, but then I was like, oh, should I do like a gold kind of like yellow on top and then like a pop of purple on the bottom? Like, I wasn't too sure, but there's definitely a lot of options here. If the color story like speaks to you, then I definitely recommend this palette. It's definitely not like my everyday color story, but I love this palette, and I will definitely get good use out of this palette. I think it is so beautiful. But personally, every day I go for something much more like this, more pinky toned and just lighter, brighter, more neutral. But I do think this is a really unique palette, and I feel like it fits really well with his collection of other palettes that he's created. So I think the collection is amazing. I would highly, highly recommend any of the products that you think you would enjoy. I would say you absolutely will. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to subscribe and give it a thumbs up. Again, I will have this collection linked down below in the description box, and you can use code PAIGE for 10% off. Thank you so much for watching. I love you, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.